Hello there and welcome to my reaction to Hardspace Shipbreaker review. We own you registered edition trademark. I have no idea what Hardspace Shipbreaker is, but I am happy for another review of some indie game that's probably going to be at least interesting to watch. I don't know how interesting it's going to be to play. There's only one way to find out. So, like, comment, subscribe, become a member. Let's begin.
Hey people, Seth here. I'm happy to report that your application to Lynx Corporation has been accepted. Now if you'll just sign here, 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 and here. Don't read it too closely. It's just a standard lawyer speak. You know how these types are. Here and
I wonder
here.
if there's
Don't read it
anything,
too closely.
just randomly. In the time while under obligation to the terms and conditions of this agreement, shall the employee seek employment outside Lynx? Should the employee be contracted by a recruiter from another company, the employee... Is it just in game or is it... It's not something he made, right?
It is just a standard lawyer speak. You know how these types are. But we're not like
just
them.
scroll
We're
and confirm.
Shipbreakers. We know the true meaning of tenacity, of perseverance, of teamwork. The job is
Game
hard.
looks interesting.
The pay isn't great, but we'll do it
Is this
anyway.
the game?
Each and every day, we wake up to do the dirty work. The kind of jobs they don't want to talk about. You'll find a whole new breed of workers up here in orbit. We're honored to have you join the team. Welcome to Hardspace Shipbreaker. Welcome to Lynx.
I expected another like sideways kind of game
read
and
the
not
fine print next time, Buster. We own
third
you.
person.
Now, that'll be $1.2 billion plus tip,
shit.
of course. So, what are you waiting for? Get in that salvage bay and seize the opportunity of a lifetime. Hey, how's our new debt slave doing? I'm just messing with you. Look, we run a tight ship here, so I'll make this as quick as I can. Microgravity may seem complicated, but really, it's easy as 1, 2, free. Just hope that's not lose your grip, drift away from the station, and become one with the lifeless cosmos. Don't worry, you can always top up on fuel for a paltry fee of $10,000. Your thruster pack is capable of maneuvering along the 6 degrees of freedom. There's no air resistance up here, so you'll get real familiar with Newton's first law. An object at rest will stay at rest, and an object in motion will stay in motion until acted upon. To move other objects, use your grappling tool to apply force and cause acceleration. If that just activated a neuron, good. For reference, 1 Newton is the amount of force required to accelerate 1 kilogram by 1 meter per second. With no air resistance or friction, even a small amount of force can add up over time, allowing you to move pretty much anything with just a little elbow grease. Just remember, that object now requires an equal amount of force to decelerate. If you're unsure what 20,000 newtons would feel like, worry not. We have the data. Sadly, we can't just apply all this force for free. Newton's third law states that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. To work in space, you need to understand this implicitly. So, hopefully, I'm getting it through your head now, rather than later. Your HUD shows what your thrusters can properly counter-thrust against. Remember, red means bad. Luckily, you've got just the tool to make that pesky law work for you. Tethers. Just connect one end, then the other, and watch as the tether creates an unbalanced force, bringing both objects together. It's not fast, but it's automatic, freeing you up for more important matters, like cutting. Your laser cutter has 2 modes. Cut mode can make one giant lateral cut through just about anything. Precision mode can destroy any one single component. All ships are held together with yellow structural beams. These have no salvage value, so just cut them to your heart's content. Okay.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe watch where you cut. If you hit a fuel line, you've got a good while to find the shutoff valve. If you hit a nuclear fuel line, you've got about 10 seconds.
Hey, you.
Okay.
Finally awake.
To find the structural beams,
So you can
turn
shut
on your
down the
scanner.
nuke
You see
one?
this green light? That's the pressure indicator. Hey, wait, stop. Don't cut. Welcome back. Nothing like a spare or two to let the lesson sink in. As I was saying, in order to safely transport fragile human bodies through the cold void of space, ship interiors need to be pressurized, preferably to about 1 atmosphere. If a pressure is too low, certain liquids, like say water, risk going below their triple point. Try not to imagine the excruciating pain of every single molecule of water in your body coming to a boil near instantaneously. But if you happen to experience it firsthand, just remember, therapy costs extra. Honestly, a good day's work should be all the therapy you need. Now, back to... Oh, what was that? You want to know what happens when the pressure's too high? No. No, you don't. Your scanner will show
Oh,
whether any given
okay.
compartment is pressurized or unpressurized. You can look for airlocks and atmospheric regulators to safely toggle the compression. But word of advice, you're on the clock. Remember the wise words of
okay.
Benjamin Franklin. Haste avoids waste. That's the spirit. Now we'll cover sorting. Raw materials go into the furnace. Complicated structural components go into the processor, and anything with resale value goes into the barge. We don't expect, nor are we paying you to remember that. So it's integrated into your HUD. Payments are due Tuesday, by the way. Correctly
Convenient,
sorting
thank
items
you.
will add to your salvage goals. Incorrectly sorting or outright destroying items will take away from your salvage goals, and the lost value will be docked from your next pay stub.
Obviously.
But let's make sure it doesn't get that far, huh? The best way to fix a mistake is
Still
to avoid
does look
making it in the
does
first
look
place.
pretty cool.
Humanity had to learn that lesson the hard way. If you see any AI nodes out there, don't touch them. Don't mess with them. Just destroy them. Trust me, it's not
okay.
worth a risk.
I thought not even
Nothing
that.
is worth a risk. Got all that? Great. I'm sure you've got it covered from here. Now, I've got very important work to do. If you need help, use your radio, but don't use it too much. As I always
So
say,
is there plot or
avoiding
anything?
chatter makes profits fatter. Hey, Cutter. Sorry about
Oh,
that guy.
hello.
We're under audit by corporate on account of that whole union thing. You wouldn't happen to know about that, would you? I'm just messing with you. Now, I noticed he skipped over a big chunk of your training. Your scanner actually has two more modes, systems and objects, neither of which react well to being cut apart. So it's always a good idea to scan ahead. Remember, measure twice, cut once. Most ships these days are
The
nuclear
saying in
powered.
Russia is measure 7 times, cut once.
Once you remove a reactor, it'll trigger a meltdown timer. So make sure you've prepared an exit strategy, or else...
How far do you need to exit? Oh, is that far enough?
Now, that's just the small reactors. The level 2 reactors are a bit more complicated. Hold up now. Training time has not been authorized. Who cares about level 2 reactors? Once you've seen one
I
reactor,
do.
you've seen them all. That's what I always say. Listen, I know nobody likes a middle manager coming in making life difficult, but just hear me out. I hit my goals, and I'm out of your hair. But we all gotta pull the rope in the same direction. Get it? Cooperation. Co-op-eration. When you first start this game, job, it seems pretty chill. Just you, the ship, and all the time in the world. Except, not really. Each shift is exactly 15
time
minutes
limited.
down to the second. We will not pay overtime, and we're tired of hearing about it. You can always start a new shift from where you left off. I mean, it's not like it's going anywhere. This system may seem strange at first. Why have a time limit when you have all the time in the world? Because time is money. Each shift has fixed operating costs, and not all salvage is created equal. 3,000 for a light? Fuck that. The 3 seconds it takes to salvage one are far more valuable. Just chuck the whole piece into the processor and move on. Do you really need to painstakingly separate every single piece of furniture from the cockpit just to save some scrap metal? No, just barge the whole thing. We aren't janitors.
Does it count as a
we're
combo?
liquidators. We extract liquid capital
Or is it actually
from
better to
illiquid
separate
assets
stuff?
and die of acute radiation syndrome. On that
you're
note,
wasting time.
nuclear reactors don't explode. An atom bomb works by taking a subcritical mass of a fissile material and using an extremely precise array of explosives to compress it into a supercritical mass. Reactors don't do this. They use a fissile material to heat water into steam, which powers a normal-ass steam turbine. A reactor will never go supercritical. If a runaway reaction occurs, the nuclear fuel will get hot enough to boil the metal casing of a reactor, and what has a lower boiling point than most metals? That's right, water. If you want to learn more about criticality, here's a simple experiment you can do at home. You just need 2 beryllium hemispheres, a subcritical mass of plutonium, and a screwdriver. Place your plutonium core in between
this
the
demon core
hemispheres
stuff?
and prop up the top one with your screwdriver. The neutrons emitted by the fissile plutonium will bounce off a beryllium shell. So, as you lower the top half down, these neutrons will be forced back into the core, thus raising the criticality. Full coverage will lead to super criticality. So, make sure you don't... That did not produce light. What you just saw is called Cherenkov radiation, which occurs when charged particles move faster than the speed of light through a given medium. Space is generally characterized by a lack of medium, so reactor
Faster than the
explosions
speed of light,
should not
that's
emit
interesting.
Cherenkov light. But I digress. While you trained in the art of hazmat safety, I mastered the ways of Hakuchido. While you need a forklift certification to destroy a warehouse full of product, I am
That video
untethered by such
hurts.
restrictions. But is the extra money really worth a risk?
Yes.
No. To be honest, I've already paid off my debt. I am a multimillionaire. I am no longer in it for the money. I'm in it for the pride, the thrill, the obsession of constant improvement. I end each shift satisfied, yet disappointed. The wealth of experience and knowledge I've just obtained has made me better than the man who started the shift. That man was a fool, a buffoon, a moron. I could do better. No, I will do it faster. Each and every day I'll strive to master the art of shipbreaking until I've reached the peak of salvage excellency, dismantling an entire ship in a single shift. The poor man's job simulator is a simulator of a mundane, of a life where mediocrity is rewarded and excellence is punished. It takes a masterwork to reignite that spark in a man's heart, the spark of ambition, to confidently end each day a better man than you were before. And that is why Hardspace Shipbreaker is, hey, doesn't this job suck? Oh man, I hate this job. Do you want to unionize? I want to unionize. Okay, cool. I added you to the union newsletter. So now corporate union busters are gonna target you. Okay, cool. Bye. What the fuck just happened? I forgot my pills, didn't I? When I play one of these work for an exploitative corporation that doesn't care about your health and safety kind of games, many such cases, I do not want to quote-unquote fight the power. I want to exist within the system, grasping for any semblance of human connection in a society that dehumanizes us down to mere cells in a spreadsheet. This is the same company that would sooner clone its workers before bowing to a modicum of safety regulations. If your solution to the teletransportation paradox is, who cares lol, as long as they make their debt payments, you haven't made a fixable society. You've made Cruelty Squad, except I can actually see. However, they wanted a story with a climax, so fuck it. We're gonna unionize. The final mission of the game is a fun twist on normal gameplay. Instead of breaking apart the ship and carefully sorting the remains, you have to intentionally fail all of your salvage goals. But you can't just chuck the whole thing into the furnace. That would create value for the company. You've got to go absolutely hog wild, using everything you've learned to do the worst job you possibly can. But you wouldn't hurt an innocent mega corporation like Lynx, right? After all, we're a team here. Like hell we are. Where did I put those pills? Listen, we just want to talk with your bosses. We get our meeting, and this will all be over. You know I can't. Why protect them? Do you think Lynx sees you any differently from the rest of us? You know the difference between you people and me? I know Lynx treats you like slaves. Hell, that's why they're the biggest in the solar system. I made it to the winning team. People like you trying to lift each other up, you're just letting others keep you down with them. For what? We own you. I got the right to do whatever I want to you. You were nothing until Lynx found you. Obedience is success. You've chosen to cross the company that gave you a chance. We'll drive you into the ground with debt. We'll give you work so dangerous you'll revive 20 times a day until your DNA comes apart at the seams. And when you come back as a useless, gibbering blob, we'll make your family pick up the bill. Yeah, I think it's time for a pill. That's better.
Welcome back,
now,
Seth.
we can discuss one of the most bizarre endings I've ever seen in a video game. So, we've established that this system is basically unfixable, right? So, how do they fix it? Well, the middle managers get demoted, Lynx deletes the fucking slavery clause from their contracts, Space Congress outlaws cloning machines, but the Shipbreakers Union specifically lobbies to keep their cloning machines. And everyone responsible gets off scot-free and continue to profit from the situation. The society has not changed. The working conditions are exactly the same, and literally nothing has been done to keep humanity out of the ever-grinding cogs of industry. But yay, good job. You did it. Or I mean, you didn't do it. You're fucking dead. Your clone did it. Moral of the story, I guess. Workers are expendable. The human soul
if you do it
is
in real life?
replaceable. And it's morally correct to
Or
enslave
you
people.
clone
Just
from the beginning.
don't actually use the S word. In summary, Hardspace Shipbreaker is a cosmic scrapyard sim that I've played instead of doing actual work. But I find great comfort in
it is your
because
actual
there's
work.
something
Because
very
there's more
soothing
to
in the act of
you than this.
orchestrating and rehearsing mundane activities. In a single playthrough, I have justified and vindicated the entire nation of Germany and their infatuation for workplace simulators. I believe there's a quantum reality out there where this game was entirely a sandbox. However, the trade-off is that in that reality, Factorio is a heavily scripted, story-driven FPS. Considering
Okay.
my blessings, I prefer to stay in this universe where I can safely say I give this game a Y out of 10 because 99% of the gameplay loop is incredibly enjoyable. Highly recommended, will make your little nuts quake in their sack, but the rest? For what purpose doth it exist? If I could go back in time and change one thing, I would shoot John Lennon myself. But
Oh.
if someone else went back in time, please consider
Okay.
telling the developers that there's no point to a story in a game like this. For the price they're currently asking,
Yeah.
I would recommend waiting for a sale. Alternatively, you can get 40% off from Polish merchants, or 100% off by catfishing someone online and blackmailing them into buying it for you.
Oh,
And
that's
now
what I
for a
do.
word from our sponsor. You may have
I
noticed
did it
this
lately with
video
No Man's
required
Sky.
some research that would be fine in the simpler times of yore, but
But
these
not
are not
blackmail.
simple times.
Whoa.
These days, you can't even type me, ASF, at
Oh,
the
yeah,
House
that-
Energy
the
and Commerce Committee
TikTok
on
trials.
March 23rd, 2023, on your favorite Robert Pattinson video. So imagine how
TikTok
they
ad?
react
What is going
to my
on?
recent search history of how to make an atom bomb and piss thrust vector math. I'd be locked up for sure. Thankfully, I
Okay.
used ExpressVPN's
Oh,
secure
VPN,
private
okay.
connection.
Makes
so these
sense.
pesky federal agents are now stuck battling
they're like
through
a
the streets of Miami.
Wait, that's not
looking
like a
for the
dragon.
guy who used ChatGPT
Like a dragon
to
is
calculate
turn-based.
how much piss it would take to bring the International Space Station out of orbit. Yes,
Oh.
this is the true future of research. Search engines will no longer link you to third-party websites, but will instead use their own large language models trained on, oh, would you look at that, your data. With ExpressVPN, you can put a layer of protection between your personal data
I honestly,
and
I'd
their
rather
training data.
they
Do
teach
not
AI from
teach
my
the
data
machine.
than
Instead, let it
sell
teach
it.
you, then gaslight it into giving you disallowed information. So now, I have my very own subcritical massive plutonium, and ExpressVPN has my endorsement. Find out how you can get 3 months of protection for free by visiting
hell is this video?
expressvpn.com/Seth or by using my link in the description below. I'm legally obligated to have an entire minute after the advert, so I'm gonna run down the clock. This is the last of the collaborative videos done between me and my boy Toast. He's more than a man. He's my husband. Please subscribe.
What?
Much like a flower. Without
that the
dopamine,
editor or
He will
something?
surely perish. Basically, from now on, I do everything on the main channel, and he's going to do adverts. Also, he's going to
Oh.
help with a second channel. I believe it's
Okay.
a good place for less scripted, less coherent, and more schizophrenic content. I want a channel
more?
that's just
Less
intrusive
coherent, more
thoughts
schizophrenic?
manifesting into a
I don't
want
wanna
to
watch it.
that upon watching doesn't improve the quality of your life, but rather actively reduces it. But before that, gonna take a small break. I haven't had adrenochrome ever since Epstein got busted, and I haven't really felt the same. So I want to
Okay.
take it easy for now. Hang out with some of my best buds at the Bohemian Grove, and I'll be right back at it. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild generously funding
Oops.
and bankrolling these videos. This one
You
is
dropped that
free,
part
the
in.
next one isn't. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
The reactor. It is a reactor.
It's free.
I don't know what that's about with Pyro, but whatever. This game actually does look interesting, honestly. But there was no answer for me if it has a co-op. He probably would have mentioned it if it does. Hardscape. Oop, I saw it. Why is it if I put hard it shows up, but if I put hard it drops in search? Alright. I can see it, so if I had the money, I could buy it. Wait, same company that did Space Engineers? Is that right? They've been sold in a bundle. Now developer and publisher are different, so I don't know why they are like that. Weird. How old is this game? Almost a year old. Can my computer even run it? Oh. Seems to be very well optimized for what it is. And the first two reviews that I see is, hey people. Cool. Great. Anyway, the review itself was kind of weird to watch because he was jumping characters and stuff like that. It's quite different from his normal style. so it kind of threw me off a bit. But overall, just I was kind of mesmerized watching the game gameplay. Just I love space. I'm playing No Man's Sky right now, just enjoying myself and the endless possibilities of space. And this seems kind of right up my alley, except, well, no, actually, just because of space. Everything else is just it comes with space, so I'll be fine with it. But I would rather like a sandbox kind of game. And it does have a plot, I guess, about unionizing and all that stuff, which is odd. And I think I do agree that games like this don't have to have a plot in any way. But unless it hurts the game, it's fine. But I haven't played it for myself, so I don't know if it's for the better or for worse that it does have it. Either way, thank you everybody who watched this. I appreciate it a lot. I hope to see you next time, and goodbye. Have a great life, because one of us has to.